Hi people, I am completely surprised with this book. I love it. As you can see, it's To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. You're going to find some tips and dips on the book in here. I'm going to put the summary and all those kinds of things. And I have to say that I love this book. I love what this is about. It's a dark retelling of The Little Mermaid, kinda. And we are going to find that the book is explained by the points of view of the two main characters, Lira, who's a siren, and Elian, who's a prince that's also a pirate. And he has made it his job to roam the seas and to kill all the sirens he can find. Why? Because in this book, sirens are not the Disney version. They are the dangerous hunter, predators, creatures of all lore. We are going to find sirens that sing so they can lure sailors to the sea, making them surrender, and then they take their hearts. Hearts give power, and all the sirens used to take a heart every year when it's their birthday. Sorry. So I have loved this book so much. I mean, I love dark books. I love when we find characters that are not your usual normal princesses or sirens or whatever. I love that the author has gone to where she has gone and has bring four characters that are, for me, so unusual and so dark that you have to find this book compelling. I mean, we began this book with Lira. She's a siren and she hunts humans. And she describes herself as a monster. But when we began reading the book, we began to discover that maybe she wasn't born, but she was made. I think that this book toys with the idea of not all monsters are born, some of them are made. And I found this amazing. I love the fact that we have a prince who doesn't want to be a king, that he wants to be free, to be with his chosen family, not blood family, but the family that he has chosen to travel the world with. And I think that that's a very valid point, that sometimes we have a blood family, but sometimes we have our chosen family, these people, friends, relatives, wherever, that we have really chosen for ourselves. It's not what was given to us as a family, but the one we have constructed. And I think that's very important. We are going to find different kinds of relationships. We are going to find Lira, who has a relation with a mother that's very abusive. The mother wants to make Lira into her image. She wants to build a person. She doesn't care how Lira really is. She wants this projection of what she should be, to be what she really is. And I love how Lira begins to realize that she has been putting what she really is into the background so she can please her mother. And when she begins to discover that maybe that cannot be done, that maybe she has to break ties with her mother, I love it. I love that this book has the courage to tell stories about abusive relationships, about how you have to overcome them, to break them, to first realize they're there and they are using you or manipulating you or trying to change you into something or someone you are not. And I love how she realized and begins to center herself and find her own way. Another thing that I love a lot about this book is that there is a lot of people of color. I think that we need representation. Not all people in the world are white. And I am constantly surprised by how many movies and how many series and how many books depict all the characters white. I mean, why? There's black people, there's brown people, there's Indian people, there's all kinds of colors and shapes, and I think that it's time that books like this that show people like in different races, different ways of living, different physical constructs. It's what we need. We need diversity and we need representation. And I love the idea of the world this book builds, because we have different kingdoms, and the people that live in the kingdoms, all of them are different. They have a very present racial descriptors, to say it in some way, but they are all different and they somehow find a way to interact with each other without having this kind of wars and racism. And I love this representation in this book. Talking about the kingdoms, I love all the imagination that the author has used to create this world. She begins telling us the story of different kingdoms, and we believe, at least I did believe everything she told me. I mean, this book has a world building that's amazing. and not it's only a world building, it's also a character building, because in every kingdom, for instance, we have a kingdom that practices slavery, and we have characters in the book that have survived this war. We have Madrid, who is a girl who was sold as a slave, and she was trained as a killer, and we find that she overcomes all of that and she's her own person. I mean, that's what I love about this book, that maybe you have some prejudice or there's this kingdom that does this thing, but that doesn't mean that all people have to be like this. It's amazing. I love it. I love all the relationships between all the characters. I mean, it's amazing because we have this siren, Lita, sorry, that her mother does something and she gets to be human, and she has to take the head of the Prince Elian. And she goes there to do what she has been told to do, but then she begins to realize that maybe it's more to the world, it's more to the stories that has been told, it's more to the war and hatred, and she begins to think for herself. And I love how this character, who's dark, who's a monster, begins to see the world through a new lenses. And I love how Alan, who's kind of trained by himself to kill sirens, I love how he begins to show a mercy. He's not a killer. He doesn't eat in cold blood. He does it because it has to be done, because sirens are dangerous, but he doesn't have any pleasure in it. And I love how these two characters that apparently like in in completely different sides of the story, I love how they began to intertwine their lives. And well, you will have to read the book to see what happens at the end, but I love all of it. I love the character growth, the development of the characters, how they grow to be who they really are, how they left everything behind, royalty, and the prisons of their own minds. I have to be this. People expect me to be that. They want me to do this. I love how people in this book grow and find themselves and break with all the pressures and all the ties. I love this book. I mean, it's what I said before. We have people of color, we have different cultures, we have different ways of thinking, and I love that we have all of this, and I love that people in this book fight to overcome ties and everything that brings them down, and I just love this book. I mean, it's amazing. There's lots of things to love in this book. I love that women are not sidekicks. I think that even though they're part of the story is told by the point of view of the prince, it's amazing how the women on this book are the ones that really conduct the story. I mean, they are strong individuals, they fight, and they can stand their own. And I love it, because usually we see women as sidekick. Now it's more common to see women as, a character per se and able to withstand the world, but we need more books yet, because, it's time to bring down the patriarchy. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I recommend this book a lot. I love it, and I think you should read it. If you like diversity, if you like strong female characters, if you like dark retellings, if you love pirates, if you love the sea, you are going to love this book. I mean, it's amazing, and I cannot wait to see what more has this author cook up in her brain, because it's amazing what she can do. I love the world that she has built here, not only the sirens, but Midas and all the other kingdoms, and I love the lore, I'm sorry, I don't know how it's pronounced exactly, that goes with every kingdom. I love all the characters. I mean, it's amazing. I literally devoured this book, and I really recommend it. Thank you. Bye.